Hi, this is Clark Prophet. I'm one of your admins here on Makers Meetup. I am also a patent attorney. I'm here at HPS Law Group in Mesa, Arizona. I am showing you today how to file a provisional patent application. So not how to write one, we might do that later, but this is just how to get the thing filed if you've already got an idea. I recorded this yesterday actually, and I didn't realize how much noise my kids and the dogs were making, so I apologize, there's some of that on there, but forgive me, it should show you everything that you need to do anyway. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments, and have a good one. Thanks. All right, we're gonna jump in here. We're gonna start at the beginning, open up your browser. It can be any browser, obviously. First thing you're gonna wanna do is there's a cover sheet that the PTO requires. The easiest thing is to start here. So go ahead and Google USPTO Provisional cover sheet. Enter, go ahead and show up. And on mine it shows up first. It may or may not for you. This is what that looks like. You can fill it out online here, or you can download it. We'll go ahead and fill it out online because it looks better. Priority mail, you're not mailing this, you don't need to worry about it. Given name, we're just going to say Bubba Smith. Bubba is from the US. Yes, we do. He's going to be a single inventor, our Bubba is. He's a smart guy. Title of the invention. For the sample, well, let me say this. For the title of the invention, usually you want to say system and method for, and then whatever the thing does. There's a reason for that. Usually you just want this to be broad. Sometimes you will do a system claim, sometimes you will do a method claim. The claims are what stakes out the scope of your patent protection. So you want your title to fit that scope as broad as it can be. So you'll usually say system and method for blank. So system and method for, we're just gonna say filing a provisional application. All right, address corresponding to the customer number. Customer numbers are usually something that attorneys will have, and it makes it easier, or people licensed at the PTO, it makes it easier for them. They'll just click this, put in their customer number, and you don't have to fill out the rest of the address. So we are usually going to do a firm or individual. This is Bubba's doing it himself. His address is 1234 North Main, city, I don't know, Timbuktu, but in Arizona. That's my actual zip code. It's kind of in Timbuktu. Country is in the US. Telephone number and email are optional. I'm not going to put them here, but you can. Application data sheet. The application data sheet is another form that the PTO has. It's pretty involved, and you don't need it for a provisional. So for this one, I would ignore the application data sheet. If you have drawings, and you probably should have drawings, or some kind of figures, right? So it could be photographs, whatever you've got that shows how the thing works graphically, visually. You can include that. We're going to say there are 4 of them. Specification is going to be the rest of your application. Say there's 8 of those. We don't have any CDs or anything else that we want to do. Status. So here you're going to decide whether you want to assert small or micro entity status. A small business is one that has less than a certain number of employees. You are probably at a small business if you don't know. Micro entity, there are different requirements for whether or not you are a micro entity. We're going to look them up real quick. So USPTO micro entity status. Okay, so usually there is a gross income limit. These change every year. This year it looks like it's up to 206,109. So if you make less than that as your gross income, then you are able to claim micro entity status. So the way the patent fees work is for a normal entity, a large entity, they have a certain amount. For a small entity is half of that amount. For a micro entity is half of the small entity amount. So we definitely want to go with the micro. It's always the cheapest one. So if you are able to fit in this income bracket or under that income, then you're good and you can claim micro entity status. If you know that is true, you've got to fill out one of these. This is a certification of micro entity status, and you want to save that. You won't have an application number yet, so maybe we can save that for the end and do it after we do have an application number, but you'll need to file that or they're going to charge you like you're a small entity. And you'll get an error notice that you haven't paid enough of the fee. Signature, name, date, it's all pretty simple. If there's more than one inventor, you'd want to click there, and then you need a new one of these certifications for each inventor. So make sure that you have that for everybody, or they'll charge you more money. So we're going to say we certify microentity status. Let's say we're going to pay by credit card. And then I don't think you really need that form. It's part of the online, I'll show you, it's part of the online application process, so you're fine. These are some questions they need to have answered. Was it made by an agency of the US government? You're going to say no. It was not made under contract with the US government, so you can leave that all blank. Signature, you can fill in. There's Bubba's stuff. Today's date is the 15th. Hope everyone had a good Valentine's Day. Registration number is if you are a patent agent or a patent attorney who can practice before the PTO. You don't have a registration number, so don't worry about it. Phone number, docket number is usually for attorneys. If you don't have a docket number, don't sweat it. You can assign one if you really want to, but you don't need it. Phone number is optional. Okay, so let's see. Here, you can sign it just by doing, let's do small s, Bubba Smith. Okay, then we're going to print that. Whoa. That is goofy. Let's see if we can fix it. Huh. Well, let's do this. I'm going to open it with Acrobat, see if we can fix that weirdness. There we go. That looks like it got it. Let's see if it stays on the print. Nope. Well, so I'll fix this afterwards. I hope yours doesn't do that. That looks weird. There can sometimes be some funniness on these. Let's go ahead. Let me try this. I'm going to delete everything and just fill it in again. All right. That looks better. All right, so we're going to save it just as another Adobe PDF. Put it here. So SPEO 16, you can call it that if you want to. As long as you just remember what it's called, it's not going to hurt anything to call it that. So we're going to save it there. There you go. So looks like the address still filled in funny, but we're going to assume they can read that and it's not going to be a big deal. If you want to go back and do it in Adobe, that might help fix some of that like we did last time, but I'm not sure why it's being weird. All right, now we're going to do the fun part and actually file it. So you're going to go to uspto.gov. Here under trademarks, you'll see a filing online. Click there. There is a registered e-filers and unregistered e-filers. If you were registered, you would know that, so don't worry about it. You're going to click on unregistered. Okay, e-filer last name, first name, Bubba's a Hotmail user, because of course he is. All right, we're going to say it's a new application. Utility is what you want to click. So utility is anything that's not international, basically, or design patent. So you can do design patents. We're going to go utility and provisional right there. Click continue. All right, title of the invention. Type in your title. Don't worry about the attorney docket number. Attorneys do that. Clearly, you don't need to. First named inventor is going to be Bubba. Customer number, again, is something you can do to make the correspondence address easier. You're going to fill in your correspondence address. Oh, sorry. This is going to be Bubba again. It's going to be 1234 North Main. Timbuktu, Arizona. In the United States, put the postal code. Works fine. Telephone number and email address are optional. We're going to skip them. Okay, now here's where you figure out what you want to upload. So you're going to browse. Here's where we saved our cover sheet. We are going to go ahead and add that first. View categories. You've got application part is what you want to click for that one. And then here, provisional cover sheet. Click that. Add file. Okay, then you want to add another one. So here is our, so I went ahead and saved my application. It's here as provisional example. It's part of our template. So we have a patent template that is available for people if they want it. I'll give you a link for that. We ask you to pay for it, but it is available. And it goes through everything in the different parts of the patent and what you're going to want to have in there. You don't need to have that. Provisional patents don't have any kind of formatting requirements or anything. You really just want to make sure you have enough in there to make someone who has skill in the art. If someone has skill in the art, would they be able to read your patent application and then make, use, or sell, be able to make, use, or sell the invention without undue experimentation? So it's a bit of a fuzzy standard, but you can get an idea. Really, you just want to have enough information to make someone who kind of knows what they're doing be able to use the thing. And the more the better. So there's no penalty for your provisional being too long. If you have any information that is pertinent to the invention, throw it in there. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay, so this is what ours looks like. We're going to, okay, so I'm going to say that yes, it does have more than one part document in it. And so the first one is an application part. We're going to say it's the specification. Remember, we said that was 8 pages, so we're going to say it goes through 1 through 8. Application part, we're going to say drawings. And then you can say, it doesn't really matter for a provisional, but for a non-provisional, they have to be black and white line drawings. You just want to be accurate here. They're not going to throw it out or anything. Just say what kind of line drawing it is. We're going to say only black and white. Starts at page 9, goes through page 12. That's going to be our 4. And then upload and validate. Whoops. Oh, I forgot to select it. Okay, provisional example. All right, now it's up. Let's try that again. Upload and validate. Okay. All right, so here you see I screwed up counting the drawings, or at least, so I had 4 pages here. Let's say you actually had that, and that triggered that it's going to say it's not equal to the last number of the attached PDF file. So it's saying you said there's more pages than were actually in your file, so you need to fix that. It says it's not a USPTO supplied provisional cover sheet. Ignore that. It's not going to stop you from filing. We know it actually is. I don't know why they can't fix this. It never recognizes it as the provisional cover sheet form. It's just a pain. So we're going to edit this guy. Say it goes from 9 to 11. Whoops, not 111. And then revalidate. Okay, so now we're up. Continue. All right, so here is this is how you're going to pay. This is where we figure out fees. You're going to click provisional. So these amounts are going to change with this. So regular, undiscounted, small entity, micro entity. You see them here. We remember wanting to say we're a micro entity. Oh, and it's saying certification of micro entity required. So we missed a step. So we want to go back to attached documents at the top there. Okay, browse. That's my example. I have this. That's a PDF of an actual entity status. You're going to call it entity status correspondence. Click there. Assertion of entitled is small. Nope, we're not saying small. Certification of micro entity on a gross income basis. The other basis is if you're an educational institution, they're allowed to say that they're micro entities. Usually you're going to go gross income. Okay, now we're going to upload and validate that guy to no validation errors. Okay, we're good. So now continue. All right, say micro entity. Okay, it's going to say certification is required. That's okay. We have our certification up there. Provisional. Okay, the amount is $75 for a micro entity. If you're a small entity, that's going to be, well, click it real quick. You can see $150, right? And that'll have your fee code. We're going to continue as a micro entity. Provisional. Application size. We did not originally file in paper. If you did file it in paper, they're going to charge you more money, so don't do that. We're going to say number of pages, remember, was 11. Let's hit enter. Petition. Okay, we don't have any of those. We're not filing any petitions, so you don't need to worry about those. 11 pages total. Hit calculate. All right, so that has your total fees due is just going to be the $75 for that whole thing. If you have more pages, it's not going to matter until you get above 50. If it's over 50, then they're going to start to charge you. So I guess when I said that there is no page limit, I lied a little bit. There is a 50-page limit. If you go over that, you probably overdid it, and you got to cut back somewhere. Continue. All right, so this has got all of our information on there. You're going to review it, make sure it's all okay. Total fees due is $75. You've got your cover sheet. There's the warning, but remember, ignore it. We know that was the right form. Fee worksheet is what we just filled out. Microentity you've got on there. Okay, so make sure everything's on there. You're going to click submit. So I am not going to click submit because this is not an actual application. It is going to take you, once you click submit, it's going to go forward, and then you're going to have to pay the fees. Usually you're going to do that. It's not going to let you until you submit. The way you're going to do that is with credit card, unless you have an account set up with the USPTO, which you don't, so do a credit card. It'll take you to like another sheet. You'll enter your credit information, click enter, and you're pretty much ready to go. And it'll kick out a receipt, and there you go. So I hope that was useful. If you don't want to go through this entire rigmarole, I will add another link to the page here. We have a company that we use to file these applications, and I'll let you know how much it costs just to file that for you, so you don't have to worry about it. There is something that happens a lot to people that file these applications that you're going to want to look out for. That's when you're attaching your documents, it'll tell you that they'll kick out an error for embedded fonts. That can be a huge pain that you have to that you have to get over. I'll put another link in there that shows you how to get over that. The PTO has seen it so often that they have themselves put out a sheet that says how to clear that error. But if you hit a point where it all looks like it's going to be too much of a pain, we have a company that we use that we have really liked. They're actually, a lot of the work gets done in India. I did a semester abroad in India and kind of am more comfortable with having people there do some of that work, and we've had a really good experience with them. But if you don't feel comfortable, feel free to look around. There are other people that will file that for you. Everything, they will be confidential with everything. You don't have to worry about it. So we'll add that in there. Other than that, I hope this was useful for you. If you have any questions or anything, go ahead and put it down in the comments. Please subscribe if you can, and have a great day.